This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Rahul. Good morning.
Hi.
One second. So we stuck in last class, I think so. Declare expression, right?
Yeah, right.
So okay, let's go
Are
for
you
our
able to fix the
application.
issue with the server?
Come again?
Were you able to fix the issue with the server we had yesterday?
Yeah. Actually, that's a problem for work. I think I just restart the server. It will take half an hour it's taking. But there is a problem for server. There is no rule is open, not only declare expression.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
it is
after restart, that got fixed.
yes.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
After restarting, then again I start the server.
Okay. Got it.
Restart the system and again restart the server. That's it.
Okay, got it.
So fine. Let's come back to the task declare. So what will happen here? Already we calculate the total cost. Here I'm going to I created as a sum of total into the property in the framework. Next, I'm going to create one more declare expression to calculate the subtotal. Right click decision, declare expression. Here, so calculate for subtotal. So that give the target property should be that subtotal. No need to give the page context. So when you click on the whenever click on the true target property through property level declare expression, it will automatically trigger. So create and open this. But there is a page how the data will be stored into the clipboard. That's it. Page context is same. The subtotal. So instead of I'm going to do the sum of where give the or page list is products dot what is the property for input here total cost. Okay, the products total cost. No need to enter anything else. So here already is there whenever input is changed means whenever the total cost is calculated, then automatically subtotal also updated. So save it. So declare expressions are no need to call anywhere. So go to the flow, process flow. I think we need to add the one more property into the section. So let's open the section here. I think we don't have property into the section subtotal. So this is the section. So here add the properties, drag and drop one more, take one more layout here. So here we can use that property should be subtotal. So drag and drop the paste input and call the subtotal property. So in the data type is integer, and click on submit it and save. Fine. We check the result now. So declare expression I did not call anyway. The first declare expression is through right click on the property. I created as a one declare expression for total cost, and in same way, so one more declare expression we created. There is a subtotal. So this both declare expressions are not calling anywhere. So that means declarative field should not be called anywhere. So we do one thing, just to save and run this flow. So let's add item. So this set that cost is 800, quantity 2, we get 200. Let's add one more. Then automatically subtotal also updated. Got it right? Any doubt? Hello? Ravi?
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yes.
So no questions here. So you really decide whether to use forward chaining or backward chaining based on the business requirements, right?
Yes, correct. Most probably
Okay.
the Pega supports for 90% forward chaining. All rules are, I mean, that supports for forward chaining only, except the declare expression. Except the
Okay.
declare expression. Declare expression only will be running to the both forward and backward, but remaining
Okay.
all rules in Pega, we can run into the only forward, not backward. That's the reason we don't use for backward chaining the real time. No worry.
Okay.
Only
Uh-huh.
tool only supposed to run the backward chaining. So let's open the declare expression rule. It is change back in tab. Whenever input is change the forward chaining, remaining all are the backward chaining only.
Okay.
So whenever value is present, now value primary missing, these are all are the backward chaining process. Okay.
Okay.
So this is for forward chaining. And I told you for backward chaining requirement, there is a cost is equal to base price minus discount. Base price minus discount, right? So first will the cost is updated, then only we will calculate the total cost, right? Whenever the property value changes, then target property is updated. That is called backward chain. So
Okay.
we do one thing, that what is another declarative declare expression. So we wrote it as yes. Okay. Okay. So declare expression only completed now. Let's move forward. What is the declare constraint? Okay, we'll see declare constraint later. Declare on change. Declare on change is nothing but what? Whenever property value changes in background, one activity gets executed automatically. Whenever applying on change rule, always activity type should be on change in the security tab of the activity. Okay, activity type should be always on change while applying the on change rule. So what is the declaring on change? Whenever input value mean property value changes in backend, one activity gets executed. Suppose in this requirement there is a subtotal, right? So where you can use this on change rule, there is a subtotal. Okay, let's take point. So we have a subtotal. There is a possibility to get the subtotal equals to negative, right? Just assume it. This is one requirement. That's so when you get any negative values in subtotal, will get any negative value, then suspend the work of it, means cancel the work of it. Suspend the work of it means canceling the work of it. That is what suspend the work of it. This is a subtotal one requirement. This is the one requirement. Another requirement already I told you. I mean in that declare on change, it says whenever property value changes, that in background one activity gets executed, means let's take the activity related requirement. Whenever the subtotal means the customer is purchased more than 10k, above 10k, above 50k, what else? Okay, so above something some 20k or 10k. So what else? Here equals to above 10k. Whenever subtotal above 10k, so we can just run into an activity into the backend. Whenever is subtotal is about 10k, more than 10k. So we'll do these two requirement for unchanged rate. Is this clear? Unchanged rate. Let's go for so we are not required here. We do one thing. Let's go for on-change. So at the task here, task declare, right click. So on-change also decision category, right click, create decision on-change route, declare on-change. Yep. So here, so we do one thing. This on okay. We'll do for test on-change. Test on-change. Create and open. So here that properties to watch. Okay, what is the property dot give the subtotal. Okay, just we can give the when conditions here. So what are the when conditions? Is subtotal negative. Okay, is subtotal negative. So just create this when condition. Negative means maybe the condition should be whenever the customer is negative value any -1 -2 like that, we can just suspend with the work object. So let's say the values are subtotal here equals to, or we can apply less than 0, less than 0. Okay, subtotal less than 0, then that is a negative only, right? So whenever this when condition is true, suspend it. Whenever this when condition is false, then no need to suspend. Suspend means kill the work object. Kill the work object. That's this. So we do one thing. This is what said on change. Close. Let's come down. Here there is a choose an action, suspend work object, not activity. First we will do suspend work object, then we will go for call an activity. So policy override flow. There is a predefined flow into the work class. Okay, into the work class, finish policy override flow. Okay. Go to the work class, finish policy override, work class called as finish policy override. So if you open this flow here, there is a how to run it, how to cancel the work object. Okay, these are all is area. This is a predefined flow. Okay, so we're going to use for predefined flow. So we can pass the error message. What is the error message? Policy override or override. Fine. So here we need to create this message here. Once try to save what will happen. Yes, we need to create this. Okay, create it. So there is a py message label. So this is a property. Create and open this. Policy override it. Give that one also. And save. Fine. Close. And let's save. So declare on change rule is created. Okay. Is it clear for this requirement, Robin? What I'm going to do?
Yeah, clear. Thanks.
Let's go and check the result. Declare on change also no need to call. I told you declarative rule should not call anywhere. Whenever run the application, whenever run the flow or whenever run the case, The first executed rule into the backend is declarative rules. Let's see the result of declare on chain. In the same class only we applied. Wherever the properties, wherever the properties is there, so the property is defined into the declare on chain. So that automatically run into the backend. Let's see. So let's say what will happen running. I'm going to set some negative values for total. Something small one. Cost is something called minus 200. Some 3 quantity. Okay. So this is the negative only, right? Let's what will happen is click on submit. The status is new now. Okay. Pending policy override is showing for the status. In the audit note, so we can able to see what is it? It is suspended. Okay, this is the status, work of the status. The work object is suspended pending policy override review. So this is
Okay.
for requirement. How to suspend or how to kill the work object. Okay.
So we are basically changing the status of the work object here, right?
Come again, Robin.
So the suspending means is just a status, right? You are still able to access the work object and do everything.
No.
Like,
You just cancel it. Cancel it. That's it. Okay.
oh, okay.
Kill the
Okay.
work object.
So if you do an OBJ browse, this won't show up. That's what you mean?
Where? Here.
So if you do if you try to open the subject, you are not able to do that, like with an OBJ
Yes,
open,
that,
for example.
that you can't able to open that. Okay.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
this
okay.
is
Yeah,
a
okay.
work object ID is there. We can't able to open that instance. Why? Because that is suspended. Okay.
Oh, okay,
But,
okay. Got it. Thanks.
so now this is the on change rule. I'm going to create one more on change. Refresh it. So whenever the customer is purchasing to the more than for 10K or above any, the customer is to maximum price. So we can run this one activity here. So whenever purchasing to the customer reaching to more than amount means he is purchasing to more than more items into the online. The company is providing to the one gift voucher to the customer. Voucher means some gift card, any gift card like watch or something, any item. Okay. So how to add the gift card to the customer screen? Okay, that is the requirement. Is it clear the requirement? This is for through activity how to add the gift card or gift card something any something like maybe the company is providing to the that area is whenever the customer is a regular customer, the customer reach to whenever the maximum purchasing the items, the company is providing to the some gift voucher like any watch, bat, ball, something any like that. Okay, then how can you add the that gift card into the customer screen? Okay, that is what tech form. So let's do it. So we'll do one more on change, or otherwise we'll directly can just modify it here also in the test on change itself. Here itself we can just create the different when condition and different action. That's it. So what is the when condition is subtotal. So some above 10K or 50K. What else? Some 50K. and we'll go for 10 kilometers. So is subtotal above 10k, open with when condition. Above 10k means more than 10,000, okay, or greater than or equal. What else? Just define the conditions like so. Subtotal greater than 100, greater than 10,000. Okay, that's fine. Greater than 10,000. So whenever customer is purchasing to the more items means it is more than he reached the purchasing amount is more than 10,000. So add on gift card to the customer. Give the gift card to the this customer. Okay. Let's say which. So this is for instead of suspend or forget, select a calling activity. So that activity is whenever it is true. So whenever it is true. So start with what? Whenever it is true, only call the activity. What is the activity? So create the activities. First activity or on change activity. So apply it, open this activity, create and open this activity. Here there is a in page list, page group, value list and value group. There is a functions in Pega. Append, the last, first, previous. These are all the functions. Let's will set the one class for the value list and value group. So there is a we did not discuss the pages how to create the page and page group also. Values and value group. So let's understand what is the functions first of all. Let's go for the pairs and classes. So let's define the activity. What's the page here? Page ID. Here is not required any page. So we don't want to know the activity of component. Okay, it's not required here. We don't want to directly go for next steps. We can use for the stating the properties. So here we can set the data. So what's the properties? First refer the property page list products. So how to refer the pages like brackets dot the property. We don't want to within the brackets. We can use for functions. So here is a append function. Fine. Products dot append. Okay. Dot the property. That property should be product. Product name. That is what product name. What's the property? What's the section? Section. Yeah, product name, cost, quantity. Product name. Fine. Just double quotes and gift watch. Fine. It's the function is last. So these are the functions. Append is nothing but adding to the string. You can use for append. Okay. So last means so whenever the like remaining cost, you can use for first or last. First means the property first. Whenever the property is last, we can use this one first and last. We have another functionalities also. We'll see one class and We'll discuss all functions in theory for under page list, page group, and values. Okay, so let's observe this experiment first. This is the last dot. The next property should be cost. So the cost is the cost value 0 or something, any cost value is there, just add some amount here. Add the otherwise 0. Again dot page list, open the bracket, the function symbol, again last list, then close the page list, then quantity. So we'll get drop down, we will not get in, just type the manual quantity. Yeah, quantity. Quantity is 1 watts. Okay, this fine. So while applying to the unchanged role, I told you, so activity type should be always unchanged. Okay, always unchanged. Just to go for security, then activity type should be always unchanged. You can say fine. Let's close this activity. Come back to the unchanged rule. And whenever that subtotal reaches to about 10k, call this activity. Other than is not called an activity. Okay, concept. So see what will happen. Go to the flow. So we are refresh. Save and run this. Go to actions and runs. So just observe it that about 10k. Okay, subtotal about 10k. I'm going to set as some product is some bad quantity is some 500. Sorry, cost quantity is to something some 4. 4 means 2000. Okay, add another one. Just 900. Quantity is something 8. So let's 9000. Let's add one more item. Here 600. 6. The amount is raised to 12,800. Gift watch is added. Is it clear? Any doubts?
Yeah, clear. This is clear. So this is done in the client, right? This is not
Yes.
right. Okay.
Yes. Okay. This is a client side. Okay. So we can just give that applied actions, then they say this is not your side, the client side. Okay.
Okay.
This is what. Then declare on change rule. This is a one more requirement. Okay. Fine. So let's go for another declarative rules. For declare expression is done, declare on change is done, declare constant user validity. We'll see once. We'll go for declare trigger. So declare trigger is nothing but the purpose of declare trigger is whenever instance of the class modified or deleted or created in background. Okay. So one activity gets executed automatically. Suppose example, I will tell you some example. We'll go for practical approach. Let's say any bank account, like the customer will withdraw the amount in ATM. So you'll get some message into the bank. So you withdraw some amount, your available balance is in, some alert message, right? Mean if you disturbing to the database, I mean if you hit the database, then automatically one activity gets into the backend. That activity will be send that any alert messages are sent to the correspondents, like what else. Okay, so that is nothing but a declare trigger. Declare trigger we can create either work class or data class. So wherever apply the declare trigger, so suppose if you apply the work class, So whenever the work related instances are deleted or saved or something removed, so automatically the declare activity gets executed into the backend. So in the take the data class, suppose there is a like any employee details, employee first name, employee first name, last name, or employee code or employee pin code, address or pin code. Suppose employee wants to change his pin code, current pin code to means like the current pin code, like whatever the pin code is there, he is going to change his address. Means whenever he changing to the pin code in database, then automatically when activity gets executed into the backend, it will transfer to the that employee you have successfully updated your pin code. Means whenever you disturb into the database, means whenever you hit the database, automatically the one trigger activity gets executed into the backend. Okay, so this is called declare trigger. You clear what is the declare trigger? Any doubt? Let's see. So we'll go for practical. If I have any doubts, then we'll discuss. What is happened here? Declare trigger means uh, we'll go for first of all data class. Okay, so data type. Suppose let's take data types once again. User forms, retrieve data records, multiple records. Let's open the retrieve data records data type. So go to records. This is the retrieve data type. I mean, that is the data type we created in the previous classes. Okay, employee name, salary, designation. Okay, anyway, there is no pin code, right? Suppose the client is asking for add the one more column into the existing data table. How will we do that? Is it cover or not cover? How to add the new column into the existing data table?
You have to probably create a new table, right? Can you modify
No,
here?
existing. Yeah. It's a modification only. This is a data type. This is a data table. Some four columns is there. Client is
Okay.
asking the requirement is add the one more column as a pin code. Add the pin code of the customer client. Okay. So is it covered? Not covered into my.
Okay.
Is it covered or not? How to add the new column into the data types?
Sorry, what was the question? I didn't get the question. Is it what?
No. How to add the new column? Do you have any idea about it?
I don't know. I thought we cannot change or
I
do the type.
think so. It is not covered by that concept. Okay, we'll see. We'll cover that. So add the pin code here. How to add the new column into the
Oh, okay,
existing?
right. Oh, I was thinking about changing the type of our already declared column. Like you cannot do
No.
that, right?
Yes, no, just one. I'm going to
Okay.
add the new column into the existing data table. That's it.
Okay.
So in
Yeah,
the
my
data
question is,
type,
for example, if you want to change the salary type from integer to text, you have to delete that. Or can you do that without deleting?
without deleting is not possible. So you are
Okay.
asking, you are asking about changing to the salary data type, right? Is it
Yes.
possible? Yes, we can possible. Why? Because we can edit any data except primary data. Except primary,
Okay.
you can edit any data.
Okay.
So
Yes.
add the new property into the data model. Come back to the records tab. In the actions, there is a edit columns. So
Okay.
go to edit columns. Here we can add the new column as info. That's fine. So in self, we get some launch symbol. So submit it. The new column is added.
So the new column is not automatically added when you add it on the data model.
Automatically, there is no that feature right now. In the version right now,
Okay.
automatic launching is not possible. You can just go for edit columns, you can just add it. There is no other. It's not for
Oh,
automatic
okay.
launch.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah, this is a good tip. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, just I will add some data input here. Finish place the cursor. So what will happen here? When I change the 518 to 518789, so if I change 518 to 782, automatically one activity gets executed into the backend. That is called trigger. Okay, whenever instance means employee ID, designation, salary, name, and pin code. Whenever instance of the class modified or deleted, so you can just run the one activity into the backend. That is called declare trigger. So here what will happen? Just open the data class into the search. So where you apply into the trigger, we can create that declare trigger in that class only. Suppose if you want to apply that trigger into the work class, get the trigger in work class only. Suppose if you want to apply the trigger in data class, create the trigger in data class only. That is for remember that. So we'll go for data. What is the data type? Retrieve data records. Just pinned classes. Just now open your own class. It's fine. So here what I'm going to do, right click on this class, create it. So decision, declare trigger, declare trigger. So test trigger. Create and open this trigger rule. Here there is a trigger instance is saved, deleted, submitted. Okay. So what will happen here? Suppose what is the saved and here what is the save? What is the save and date? What is the deleted? What is the committed save? What is the committed delete? So 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 what is the save and what is the committed save? Suppose OBJ save purpose is what is the OBJ save purpose? The purpose of OBJ save.
Save the object, right?
Yeah, save the instances or records into the data table, particular data table, right? So
Yeah.
what is the suppose in the OBJ save, what are the parameters is there inside the OBJ save method?
I forgot. That's probably a primary key. PYID.
No, there is no primary key. Right now checkbox. I told you. Right now checkbox.
Oh, right now. Okay. Right. Yeah.
So the purpose of right now checkbox same here. I'm going to explain that. So there is a committed save and save. Save is nothing but a OBJ save, and committed save is nothing but a OBJ save with right now checkbox. The purpose of OBJ save with right now checkbox is nothing but the data will be saved into the in block column into the backend. Suppose I think it's a message while connecting to the PostgreSQL, right? Okay. The problem is resolved. Hello.
Sorry, what?
So is the problem is resolved for connecting to the database?
No, I did not try after that. But I don't still not on the password. I think it's the password issue.
Yeah. Are you getting, so all are working fine? Are you getting password issue? Okay, let's complete this concept first. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is the screen data. This is the screen data. This is the data. Whenever enter the data will be copied into the in database, but not exactly the data will be copied into some other column. Okay. So not exactly into the not permanently data is not saved into the database. So in database what will happen, there is a different columns or different data is there in database. Some data will be not committed into the database, some data will be committed. Means committed and not committed means, committed means we can retrieve the data very fast, uncommitted means we can't able to retrieve the data. That means the data will be there in database, but the data will be not committed into the database. That's the reason we can't able to retrieve it. Okay. That means whenever the data will be saved into the database, the data will be committed. Save is nothing but the data will be saved into the permanently in database. But save, not save, but not saved into the permanently. The data will be there in database only. Some maybe some place. We don't know exactly that data is saved or not into the database. That is called saved. So same as delete and save, committed, delete also same thing. So in the same way, we have a commit method in obj opened by delete or obj delete method. Inside the method, we have a commit method. So if we use the commit, that is committed delete. If you uncheck the commit checkbox, that is a delete. Okay. Maybe suppose the data is there in computer. Something I will explain on simple example. So one second. Some file. Suppose what else? Some file. So let's say simply some. This is what this right click and we can just delete it, right? But the data will be deleted permanently.
No.
No. The data will be there into the recycle bin, right? In same
Right.
way, if you shift delete, if you use a shift delete, the data will be deleted permanently, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the shifted delete is nothing but a committed delete. That's
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think I got that part.
that is nothing but a example of saved and committed and okay. So we do one thing. We use save. So when condition here, what's the when condition? We use for the purpose.
Then there is a new change in pin code, right?
Yes, correct. Property that one only, na?
Yes.
When condition. No, actually, one second. We do one thing. Figure activities. There is a properties to watch. No, it's not displaying. We do one thing. Save. Don't define the when condition. Let's their activity is something. I'm going to for test activity. Okay. One second. For scenarios, we do one thing. The test activity. We will change. Create one page. One second. Okay. Create it. Decision. Replay clicker. Create and open. Yeah, we'll get the job satisfaction. So here save. Okay. Okay, we do one thing, saved and something saved and this one. So one of the properties was save in condition. Don't ask the condition. You save test activity. So just open this activity, create and open. But I did not mention any pin code like that. Okay, just I'm going to create that this the activity to this class. That's it. Okay. So in this class, instances is there, right? Some employee ID, pin code, some what are the instances is there. Whenever change this instance, automatically the trigger activity gets executed. That's the actually purpose. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the page only. So the page how to create just to define the class. So just retrieve data records. Just give the uh, any page. Let's give the trigger page. Let's come back to the steps. Suppose if you want to create the page into the activity, we have a page new. We can just trigger page. Just observe the functionalities, okay? So we can apply the, I will explain then what's another approach also. Trigger page, let's save it. I told you whenever applying to the trigger on change, in trigger also we can just mention the activity type should be trigger only. So let's save this activity. Come back to the trigger rule and save. That's it. Whenever saved, call this activity. Whenever saved, deleted, call this activity. Through when conditions also we can apply it as your wish. So here, so no need to call. Excuse me. No need to call anywhere. Go to flow, refresh and save. Let's go to run. What will happen here? Sorry. Not here. So go to the data table. Sorry. Go to the data table. Here I'm going to. So we do one thing. Open the tracer. You can just monitor it. Just settings. So Robin implementation. These are the some predefined also. Just to select your application only. Click on submit it and refresh. So let's save this one again. So let's go to pin code 51789 is it 782. I'm going to change. So let's click on outside. That's all. Click on outside. What will happen? Just observe the tracer. Here, trigger page is created. Got it right? Step begins and step end is trigger page. This is for trigger. So I'm going to give the work class also. Is it clear now?
Yeah, it's clear.
So means in the work class, just you try it. I'm going to tell you one simple scenario. You try it. So what is scenario is how to just to create the declare trigger into the work class. Okay. So the scenario is very simple. What else like? Okay, we do one thing. Saved means let's go for subtotal only. Let's go for subtotal. Okay. So just to set the subtotal is the exact value. Okay, exact value, some 100 or 50, something what else. Okay. So subtotal define this when condition equated to subtotal is equal to 100. You got my point, right? Whenever this when condition is true, execute the activity. Whenever when condition is true, execute the activity. So that activity will be, so just to define any activity, let's what else like yourself, your wish, like create any page into the activity. That's it. That means that activity is getting or executed or not, just observe it. Means subtotal equal to set the 100. Whenever subtotal equals to 100, that activity gets executed into the backend. Can you do this requirement through declare trigger?
Yeah, I will try. Okay.
You got it right, the requirement.
Yes, I think I got it. So,
Okay?
so
This is a when condition.
Okay.
When condition subtotal equals to 100. Okay. So set as that one and create that activity. That activity type should be set as a trigger. Then create the one page. Whenever subtotal, just to give the input as the same equated to subtotal equal 100. Okay. Got my point, right?
Okay.
So whenever subtotal equated to 100, that activity executed or not into the backend, open the tracer and observe. This is for trigger for work class. Okay.
Okay.
Just try it. But most probably trigger rule we can use for data class only. Okay. Data class.
Okay.
Data class.
Okay. I have a quick question here. So,
Yes.
can you see? Is it possible to see all the triggers in an application quickly, like browsing app or somewhere?
Which one? Come again.
So, I suppose I wanted to find all the triggers in our application. Is that possible to find that way without looking at opening the activity and checking the type?
Can you expand your requirement, Robin?
So I wanted to find whether there are any triggers already in a. Suppose I have an application. We have in our office an application. And
means that
can I
that
just
whole
find
application.
all the triggers? Yeah.
Exactly.
All the
means
triggers.
Yes. Yeah, I got it. Your question means in that whole application, that how many triggers are there in there, right? That's
Yes. Yes.
So how many triggers are there into the application means we go for live UI tool. Okay, live UI.
Okay.
Yes, Monterey. There's a property is defined into the live UI. It will be defined to the runtime. That is the which rule is running to the backend. We can identify through live UI.
Okay.
Okay. So other than there is another approach. There is another way just to get what are the no another question is one more question. Is it possible to create a declared trigger into that multiple trigger rules into that one class?
For the declare expression or trigger?
Trigger, whatever it is, declare expression.
For one property, there should be only one declare expression, right? Or
yeah, declare expression.
I'm not sure.
You can apply the multiple, but come to the declare on change and declare trigger. Is it possible? Suppose there is a work class, task declare. Okay. The task declare we applied as a declare trigger rule or declare on change something. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the test on changes. We applied the one property, right? So what is the property? Subtotal, right? Whenever we can apply the on change rule, multiple on change rules into that one class. But declare trigger.
I'm not sure. Is that possible?
Declare trigger for work class is possible, but data class is not possible. In one data type, we can create only one declare trigger only, not multiple triggers.
Okay.
You got it right. So whenever employee ID, this is the retrieve data record for this class, we can create only one declare trigger, not multiple declare trigger.
Okay. I think I got it. Yeah.
Okay. So that is for
yes. Okay.
So if you want to monitor your application, that triggers and we can able to see triggers and on change rules and section all will be used. You can monitor through live UI. Through live UI, how to monitor the application while runtime, I will show in project. So how will be monitor the application.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So this is for the declare trigger. Okay. So can I'm going to give the declare constraint also. Declare constraint is What is declared constraint? Yes, yeah, what is the constraint here? Declared constraints are used to validate the property, but validating the property we have multiple rules, no? We covered. So we
Right.
have edit validate, edit input. Some properties also we use the purpose of validation. What's the purpose of declared constraint? Declare constraints also to validate the property either client side or server side without calling anywhere. But remaining, what are the declare validation rules we used before that? We can call somewhere into the rules, right? We can refer it. But declare constraint should not call anywhere. This is also used to validate the property. So how can you validate the property? Let's see. I'm going to what will happen here? Task trigger. Right click, create it. Right click, create decision constraint. So let's see. Just test constraint. So create and open it. For interview point of view, like this is very important for scenario based explanation. Okay, we take any example or something. What else? So when condition, suppose when condition I'm going to set as. So let's see. Cost actually we don't allow to the negative values, right? We don't allow to the negative values. Got it? Cost value or quantity into the screen. So that customer is, if we select that negative value, we don't allow to the negative value. So in that scenario, I'm going to create it just simple. So if we get different idea, we can just apply it. I'm going to just explain for path only. So what else? Like we'll see for cost property. So the cost property paper. Okay, we do one thing. Dot cost for subtotal. Subtotal less than 0. Okay, so something we already applied for suspended work object, right? Okay, we do one thing less than something 0, any negative. Okay, the required is the subtotal always some greater than or equals to. Okay, greater than or equals to 0. Okay, if it is else, pass the message. Please enter valid data. Okay, please valid data something. Just assign this error message to subtotal property. You can just save it. Let's see what will happen. So let's go to the flow, expression flow. So the work object is suspended. We already applied. So I'm going to try it for declare expression for explanation practical approach. So let's happen. Minus 400. Quantity is 2. What will happen? It will display error message. Please enter valid data. That subtotal is not negative. Or otherwise that we already applied for suspended work object. If the customer before click on the submit, customer is wants to change, please is checking for the error message and we can just correct it. Otherwise, if we don't, then you can just click on that work object is suspended. Is it clear?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Scenario created the scenario only. So just practically where you applied means validation of the property. That's it. We can validate the property, that is a declared constraint. So in the declared constraint we can apply multiple properties. Here, just click on plus multiple. Okay. So this is for the declare constraint tool. Constraint tool to use to validate the property either before click on the submit or after click on the submit. Both sides. You can apply both sides. Don't tell them to only client side. Some people are answered to the only client side. No. Declare constraint to validate the property either it's client side validation or server side validation. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
This is for declarative rules.
Okay.
We'll discuss tomorrow for next concept. We'll see once again for the all for we'll take the review. Okay. Reports is left. So where you are. So which concept is not covered, concept is not covered. So we'll take the class, that concepts, and the advanced level we'll cover into the project. Most probably this week I will start the project. I will see some project description and a demo of the project, and we'll start.
Okay.
We'll take one review class where you are. How many concepts we cover? How many concepts not covered? What is uncovered concept? What is covered concept? We'll just take the review part. Okay. So we'll just
can you send me the text files, the notes you have already?
Exactly, I forgot daily. Okay, just I'm going to share all today.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I have some already. The remaining, yeah. Okay.
So definitely, I'm going to share today all the test files. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.